What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I compete creative weapons forms in Taekwondo, and come next season, I want to compete a creative form. So I'm in the process of creating a new form now, and I thought I would show you how I come up with that. Alright, so step 1 to doing a creative form, creative weapons form, whatever it is, maybe extreme, is you've got to choose your song. Now, for creative, you don't have to use music. However, I choose to use music. I think it makes better form in this case. And so if you're, some people might, do their form and then choose music afterward, if they choose to use music. Personally, what I think is better is when you choose your music and then you choreograph to the music. Because when you do a creative form and choose to use music, you get judged on musicality and timing. So when you can choreograph to that music, it's much easier than trying to find a song that matches your choreography or your form. So what I usually do to go through this is I go through some songs on my phone that I think would be a good idea. I know I'm much familiar with the songs on my phone instead of trying to find other songs that I'm not as familiar with. Because I think I know the beat, I can get right into it. So I'll go through some songs on my phone. Let's say I narrow it down to 2 songs. If I have a hard time deciding, which I often do, I will go to my parents and say, hey, what do you think? Which song should I use? And, then I'll choose that song and I'll start listening to it. So that's step 1. You've got to choose your song. All right, so step 2 is you've got to listen to that song a few times. I'd say like 3 to 5 times. Get a feeling for that beat, the lyrics, if you want to go with the lyrics, anything. Get a feeling for the timing, the musicality, everything that goes into, musicality, timing, how you would want to go with the music. Just listen to that a few times. That's what you're going to do, because then you'll get much better feeling for it. If you're explicitly looking for that beat and all of that, the timing, because when you're just listening to it for fun, you don't necessarily look for the beat as much. So, when I chose my song, I was going through the beats. That was also part of my choosing my song, what has a good beat. But, once you choose your song, then you can also look for the beat, listen to it a few times, look for those accents in the music, and whatnot. So that way you can time it with the music, figure out where you want to put the big yells or big kicks or whatever it is. Step 3 is improv. So for me, improv, I'll insert a clip of me doing that. But for me, that means that I'll listen to music and I just improv, do it like 5 times. Now this might be part of choosing my song to get a feel for what I want to do. Is I'll listen to a few songs and I'll improv to it, see what I really like about it, some songs, and then I'll decide, okay, what am I feeling with this form? That will also help me go into choosing the song, maybe. But once I have chosen the song, I've listened to it a few times, I really want to improv to it about 5 times. Just listen to the music and do what I feel like I want to do. Now, again, I would listen to this beforehand and choose a cutoff time. So because you're only allowed a maximum of 2 minutes between when your judge says your time begins now and to get the music on, to do your form, including technical difficulties. So you want to choose that cutoff time. I recommend between 1 minute 30 seconds and 1:45. So I've already done that now. That was part of listening to the music that I forgot to mention. But you want to go through just doing improv, feeling what you do a lot in the form, like over and over again. If you hit the same move on the same word or the same count over and over again, you're probably going to incorporate that into your form, because you realize that's probably something, number 1, you're comfortable with, and number 2, that it really fits with the music if you keep doing that over and over again. So that also gives you a good idea of what you want to do with it, and you can go into choreographing. Step 4 is choreographing. So now you've got an idea of what you want to do. You have your song, you've got that cutoff time. So what you really want to do now is start choreographing. Start thinking, okay, how am I going to do this balance if I want to do one? When I'm going to start the music, was my starting position going to be? How do I want to, what are the first few moves going into maybe those few moves that you're doing over and over again? You've got a choreograph now. Start with maybe a couple, maybe start with 5 to 10 moves at a time, depending on how comfortable you are with it. So that is when you start choreographing. This is step 5 steps. This is when you finally get to start making the form. Have fun with it. Do what you want. Feel it out. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing, because, then you're just being everyone else. Creative forms and extreme forms, when judges see that, it really shows them your personality. The song choice you pick, it really shows them your personality with that. It shows them the type of person you are, besides the typical forms and sparring that everyone else is doing. That is the beauty of creative and extreme forms. So do what you want with it, have fun, and just have fun with the form. Do it. So here's some of me just listening to my song and just trying to improv, see what I do consistently, get a feel for the music. No music because of copyright. Just like 30 seconds of me working through it. And of course, the final step to clean the form up, do all this stuff. If you are using music, I would strongly suggest cutting it. A lot of people don't, because they'll just have the person that turns on their music, they'll just pause it at the end. I think it's a much cleaner finish and a much clearer stop time when you just have the music cut. It will just stop automatically. It's really nice. You can add phase in there, you can edit the music, whatever you want to do with that music, just cut it. You know where you want to do it, and then after you have the music cut, practice over and over again. Clean the form, rehearse it. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Maybe make a few changes here and there. Don't make too many though. Also, another thing is write down your choreography. It can be shorthand, like 8 count, 2 front stance, block. It doesn't matter. Just write down somewhat, just understand it. You'll never forget, because I often find myself forgetting. It's okay, just at least writing it down helps you remember in your brain. If you ever want to go back, but that also just helps you, if you do want to change it, you have the basic layout there of the moves there. So that is how I create my forms, how I do it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it helps you.